How's it going, guys? You're watching Dirt Bike Channel. I'm your host, Kyle Brotherson, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about TUbliss. I know I've talked to you guys about TUbliss before in the past, but I just wanted to give you a real world experience, something that has happened to me recently, and it's happened to me in the past before. And this is why I love TUbliss so much. If you can see this tire right here, this tire is a tire that I got a puncture in this tire running TUbliss as the front tire when I was up in Idaho, and I was able to just throw one plug in that thing and I was back up and going within 10 minutes. Well, it's been a little over 2.5 months since that happened. I'd been on a number of rides, and then this plug started to fail. And this tear in the tire got so wide that I put 3 plugs in this thing when I was out on a ride just recently, and I couldn't get it to stop leaking. But guess what? The tire was still on the bead because of the TUbliss system. And so essentially what it amounted to is I finished a 30 to 35 mile an hour or 30 to 35 mile ride on a completely flat front tire. I had to slow down just a little bit because it was so, I didn't want to tuck my front wheel under. But the point is, I was able to ride all the way back, bashing rocks and bashing everything, and I didn't even bend my rim at all because that inner TUbliss chamber was holding 100 to 105 pounds of pressure, making sure that that bead stayed planted around the rim. And so even though my tire was completely flat, there was no air in it, I was able to ride all the way back. So it didn't ruin my day by having a flat front. And honestly, if you can ride back, if you can do a ride like I did, bashing through rocks and doing this single track stuff through some, kind of the nasty desert terrain that I have near my house, if you can do that and not ruin your day, I say TUbliss is pretty flippin' amazing. I love it. So basically what's happening is this tire is toast. I'm not gonna use that anymore. I'm gonna use a tire that I didn't wear out completely. This is just a Dunlop AT81 that I'm gonna throw on the front on this thing and be good to go. I've used this set of TUbliss for, I don't know, 3 or 4 sets of tires. And even after blasting, for 40 miles on a flat tire, this thing is still good to go, and I'm just gonna throw another tire on there. It's hard to put a price on being able to save your day, and TUbliss has saved multiple rides that I've had over the last couple of years that I've been using it. I'm a big fan of it. There's nothing wrong with tubes, especially if you can get some heavy duty tubes, but I do like TUbliss because it can save your day, and it also makes your bike lighter. This TUbliss setup is a lot lighter than if you're putting a heavy duty, thorn resistant, puncture resistant type tube inside your tire. The fact that I can just go out on a ride and know that I can fix, generally any sort of a leak, most of the leaks that I get with just throwing an easy plug in the tire. I love that. And then I also love knowing that I can run a lower pressure in my tire than I normally would be able to with tubes without having a problem. That's fantastic. And then compound that with the fact that they're easy tire changes. I mean, I have no problem at all doing a tire change with my TUbliss setup. I think it's every bit as easy as it is with tubes, if not even slightly easier. I mean, anything that you do a lot, you get better at. So as I've changed more and more tires, every time it gets just slightly easier. And same thing with this TUbliss, but the fact that it can save rides for me, and the fact that it's easy to fix most leaks out on the trail just by throwing a plug in it. And this was the first time that I wasn't able to get a leak to stop. Every once in a while you get a pretty big tear, and I'll have to put, say, 2 plugs in the hole to try to get it to stop leaking. This time I had 3 plugs in there, and it still wasn't leaking. And I think it's just because that tire was toast and ready to go, ready to be put out to pasture. But I was still able to finish that ride, and it's hard to put a price on that. Like I said, if you pay 80-90 bucks on this setup per tire, and it lasts you, I mean, seriously, a tube is $20, and I've been able to get at least 4 uses out, or at least 4 tire sets out of this TUbliss. So right there, I'm already ahead. So in that way, TUbliss is cheaper. I don't like to put old tubes back into a new tire because you can get chafing and all that other stuff. So I was putting tubes in a tire every time anyway. So the TUbliss ends up being cheaper for me in the long run and just much better to use and run. I love it. I'm a big proponent of TUbliss. I know a lot of guys haven't tried them and a lot of guys have maybe had some problems with them, but I haven't had any problems with it. I love the TUbliss.
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like the videos, share the videos, and subscribe to the channel. Also, go over to dirtbikechannel.com/parts, and there's some affiliate links there that you can use to help us out. Thanks so much, guys.